Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. See ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday, we'll season the day. Digital finance, harmony of love, serving food to what those two, rising as the beat and it, Eastern on P2G TV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
Woo, child, you don't understand sometimes. How y'all doing, Grand Rising? It's your girl, Ruby T, here with the Breakfast with the Thomases. This is our Pay It Forward Friday. Let us continue to get all the tech back in place, because you know every time this go down, something got to go down. But we're not going to let that get us down. Today is Pay It Forward Friday, and so we refuse to let anything stop our paying it forward. Guys, wherever you are coming through your stream, welcome, Grand Rising. Come on in. This conversation is for you. We are here to fill your plate, refill your cup, and allow you to not just see that the week has ended for some of you. Some of y'all just getting started. I know y'all got weekend work. But some of y'all call Friday a weekend, where you feel like you need to just put it down because you've just been rushing through the week. You've been like trudging through. It's time to stop living life like it's hard. Life is life, and it's yours. Life be life. But let's talk about what that actually means. We're going to pull that down. We're setting up a conversation today. Why, Miss Ruby? Why are we up this time in the daytime? Oh my goodness, what we doing? Why we out here? Because life is changing fast for all of us, but it does not have to have negative repercussions for you. What if I told you it's what you make it? I know they say that all the time. What do you mean by it's what we make it? Well, if you're aware of something, let's talk about it. Mr. Thomas is coming through. Unfortunately, the tech on the other end did not work. So we don't care. We just get it done anyway, because this is our community's conversation. And so y'all go ahead and give a hello, a what's up, a woo-woo, or what have you for being here in the space, because we're going to talk about how to make life your new journey and excitement in that space. You ready, sweetheart?
Just about.
Okay, he's coming in. So while Mr. Thomas gets ready, I'm going to prepare you all for what's to come. Okay? Whew. How many of you all have been dealing with inflation, with the idea of knowing what inflation is? How many of you don't know what inflation is? You just know that the prices of everything have changed, that we're hearing about wars, that this stuff doesn't matter in your everyday on the ground life from right here where you live. Well, it does. And I want to share with you how to look, I'm trying my best to make people understand you don't have to be bothered. You don't, because you're managing your life in a powerful direction. Okay? When we have information in our communities, we can then make moves. But when we get poor information, misguidance, fear-mongering, all we end up doing is being afraid and doing the minimal and being minimally effective and maximally stressed out.
Absolutely.
Mr. Thomas, you finally made it.
Yes, I do.
How y'all doing?
Grand Rising family.
We're going to say hello.
Welcome. Glad to have you here. Pay It Forward Friday.
Yes,
and I'm the Gold Banker coming to you live one gram at a time. It is a beautiful Friday. I can't even.
Don't you just love the color in his face? I keep telling him get his cameras together. I'm sorry. I love my husband, and I love being on this program with him. This started as a conversation just he and I was having almost every day, different conversation that would help us to not only become aware of how the world was working, but what we needed to do. Now, how many people know what to do with what you see? You listen to the news, it scares you to death. People ask me all the time, you heard about this happening, that one happened. I don't know who half of these people are because the news I listen to is irrelevant to my life goals. How many of you have news that you listen to that is irrelevant to the life goals you have? Or do you just listen to everything?
Do you understand what it means to have it relevant to your life? Because if you're on a plan, whatever the news is the news. You have no control of what the news is.
And so, with that, this is, by the way, it's Breakfast with the Thomases. I'm going to have to change it. Look at you, got me changing my name, brother.
That's okay.
This is going to be the Thomases. I got to edit the name because that's not just me. Now I got to be a we, y'all. I got to be a we today. Go ahead. Give some love on it. We lost Clapper. We lost Clapper. Let's get him back in. This happens sometimes. Some of our streamers tend to
do
come
what they
down.
do.
All right, I gotta take myself out. Here we go. So with that, now we're back and we're in all places. Let's get started. Okay, we gotta get started. Pulling. Oh no, we lost Clapper. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. I sometimes get a little sad. Can you please just reset it?
I can reset.
Thank you. So while they're getting reset, we are going to get moving. We have a video that we want to share with you. Information makes, okay, if you get proper information and then you get proper training as to what to do with it, you can keep it moving. Now, most of you are working a job or a small business, or you're working contracts. Some of you are gig workers. And you believe that today it is very, very hard to create a nest egg or even a retirement. I'm pretty sure I was in the same boat. Some of you feel that even not having a job is a problem. You can't have a nest egg if you, we call it a nest egg, but it's a saving. If you don't have a job. Well, what if I told you that that's not true? What would you say to Miss Ruby? But you don't understand. Now, I am going to share with you already. I teach digital financial literacy. But you see here, digital financial literacy, that thing down there is a different way of thinking about what you actually have. Because most people don't get it. Most people don't get financial literacy as a power base because we hear it all the time. We've heard it too many times. The same financial literacy you all got led you to being broke today. That's because the system you were taught had a servicing of persons. Yep. The people who taught it to you had a purpose for you to learn only how to buy what it is they sell. Well, Miss Ruby doesn't sell any products or goods. Miss Ruby only teaches, I sell education. Think of me as a college, as Cornell School for Financial Literacy.
I like that.
Y'all understand? We are the new education system. I don't have anything for you to do but learn how money moves and how to move it well for yourself. Now, I've been through a lot of programs that say the same thing. But you know the thing in the end? They had to sign up for something. I know you go, Miss Ruby, but aren't you at Cost Metals? That is a resource. I would never show you how to get to something and not have access to it. So get that. I'm going to show you how to access different types. People think I'm a little nuts because I've been giving away valuable information around financial security for a long time. One, I want to make sure we're very clear. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial professional. Any information that you get or suggestions that you get from someone in any financial matter, go to someone who is professional, ask their opinion. But I'm going to say one thing, use your discernment. People who sell you a product have an agenda.
Yes, they do. They have a bottom line.
And you're there for that agenda. Make sure their agenda fits with your purpose. So, as you can see, I'm an educator. And we teach you how to vet programs, how to vet people, how to be able to judge, make good judgments. Because unfortunately, most of us, our biggest problem is that we don't trust ourselves. So, Let's get started.
I can't wait.
The first message we're going to share is about the economy. What is happening? This Thomas, you chose this video, so I'll let you kind of speak up on it.
Well, I chose this video last night was and I say last night because I watched it again. It's about the IMF, and IMF is International Money Fund. And
please slow down and say it every word out.
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I know this is in my head. The IMF is the people who discern what's happening with the money around the world, and they have stated
what does IMF stand for? I think sometimes I have to remind my husband that I'm a teacher.
International Monetary Fund.
Thank you. Now slow down and tell them what that means to you.
Well, what it means to you is these are the major banks. You guys have heard of the G20 and the G7. This is these are the, oh good Lord.
I'm a teacher.
The general populace are the highest growth product countries in rooms getting together, deciding how the money is going to work, where it's going to go, what financial decisions are made around the world to affect the world as a whole. And in this video, you will hear about them talking about the U.S. government and the U.S. petrodollar running out of buyers.
Okay, so I want to make sure that you guys get that this is a conversation that we're going to bring to you, but it's for us to break it down.
Yes.
We don't want to blow you away, but you have to be exposed to the language. That's why we come together to break down what we call code. A lot of folks we don't think and we don't read, or even nowadays with all the technology, our minds do not focus on a college level. I don't care if you've been to college and you got a PhD. When you're living your life, and I know many PhDs that don't function in that space outside of their workspace, which is why it becomes a problem at home, because we've got to start being able to disseminate information, especially when we're at home, so that we can become powerful in our actions with it. My dears, I hope that you take the time, take some notes, ask questions, because you can either type your question or you can actually come in and ask your question. We have folks that are on platforms that can straight out pop a bubble for 1 minute and ask their question. Or please share what you know, because that's where we are. This is the community space for getting it done. Today we'll use a video from ITM Trading. Please forgive me now, I'm tongue-tied. And we want you to get the information. This is not a scare tactic. This is information for what we need to have a conversation around as a community. Ask your questions, and let's get it started. Here we go. Oh, my bad.
Hyperinflation here in the US? That's the question that a client asked me last week. And it's a great question because I talk on this channel all the time about currency life cycles, or the pattern that all fiat currencies follow. And right now, we are in the stage of inflation, leading into hyperinflation. Prices are not doubling overnight, at least not yet. And for many, it's difficult to imagine that happening here in the United States, especially because it feels like we have such a long ways to go. But if you study currency life cycles throughout history, what I always tell people is that they happen slowly and then all at once, very suddenly. But the question remains, what will the actual trigger be that will cause that rapid inflation leading to hyperinflation? Or again, prices doubling overnight, while the purchasing power of your dollars is reduced to basically nothing. My answer to that question has to do with the US debt. It's no secret that we have a mountain of debt, almost $40 trillion and counting. And it's no secret that that debt is rapidly growing, but the real trigger for me is going to come down to the demand for that debt itself. Now, this week, I saw an article that came out on Fortune titled "The Explosion of U.S. Debt is Wiping Out the Safety Premium of Treasury Bonds, and Time is Running Out for an Orderly Fiscal Solution." IMF warns. Now, the IMF is the International Monetary Fund. You could call them the central planners or the cartel of central banks, whatever you want to refer to them as. But if the IMF is coming out and warning this, they are very well aware that the dollar dominance that's in place, the mainstream media continues to tell us will never go anywhere, is at risk. And again, whether this is all part of that central planning or whether this is just naturally occurring because all empires and all currencies eventually fail, this is a very important article because I talk all the time about declining demand for US debt. And we're going to look at some actual data here as far as what's really going on and how close we are to that situation. But let's go ahead and start with this article. Soaring US debt is causing US Treasury bonds to lose their risk advantage over other securities, making it more expensive to borrow money, the IMF warned. What does that mean? Well, since the dollar is the global reserve currency, it comes with an air of safety. You assume, as a buyer of US debt, that the US is never going to default on its promise. Now, you and I both know, if you've studied history, the US has defaulted on its promises before. But as far as different fiat currencies go, people often refer to it as the cleanest shirt in the laundry, right? It is the best option of the fiat currencies because it has the largest military presence backing it. It has oil, the petrodollar backing it. It has global demand and dominance. And really since the 1940s, right, it has been the global reserve currency. So it has history backing it, at least in modern terms. But dominance is not the same as permanence, and all of that is starting to change. Now, there are multiple factors at play here. We have the global move away from US debt as a result of the United States weaponizing the dollar against other nations, such as the US weaponizing the dollar against Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, freezing and seizing their assets. All the other nations looked around and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. If the US can do that to them, they can do it to me, meaning my assets are not safe if they are stored in US debt. Not only that, but now we have the US creating more and more debt. This article goes on to say that as the Treasury Department must issue more fresh debt, testing the appetites of bond investors who have already shown these signs of waning demand because of the situation I just mentioned. The result has been higher yields. Now, yields, of course, are the interest offered on US debt. The higher the yields, it means the more the US has to pay for investors to be interested in the debt. Now, with higher defense spending expected to worsen the debt outlook further, it's compressing the safety premium that the US Treasuries have typically commanded. What I mean by this is that because the dollar is the global reserve currency, foreign investors were willing to spend more or have a lower return on their investment because of the safety that US Treasuries carried with them. Let's say you have someone in your town. I'm going to make a simple analogy here. You have someone in your town who always needs to borrow money. Two people, actually. There are two people who always need to borrow money. Person A over here will borrow with a 5% interest. So if you loan them $100, you get 105 back when it's paid back. Person B, you loan them $100, they pay 10% interest. They're going to give you $110 back. Now, you would think that if you were going to loan money to someone, right, you'd give it to person B, the person who's going to give you 10% back, that higher interest. But person B, they're a little bit risky, right? You don't know how much debt they really have. You don't know if they're going to pay everyone back. So you opt for the 105, the 5%, person A, because you know that they always pay people back. You trust them, right? There's a safety there. So you're willing to take less payment ultimately in exchange for that safety premium that you're paying. That's what's happening with US debt, except now the yields, right? It's being suppressed, meaning that as US yields are rising, as different investors are demanding more interest for the debt that they're taking on, they're viewing US debt as risky. They are concerned because of how big the US debt is. People are starting to look around. These investors, these foreign nations are saying, I don't know if the US will really be able to pay this back, right? And not only that, even if they get paid back, right, in nominal terms, they might not get paid back in real terms because they are worried about inflation, right? And we're talking about a lot of inflation, not just the Fed's made up 2% target, which we don't need, by the way. That's a lie that's been sold to all of us. And we know it's higher than that anyway. But they're talking about real inflation concerns. But it gets even worse. So not only now, right, are US yields rising to attract buyers, and now you have this interesting scenario where all these buyers are kind of going, I don't really know if that's that much safer. I'm going to go over here and buy something else. It's not just what else they're buying, right? The market is getting even more saturated. So it says here that you've had corporate bond yields and treasury yields compressed. They have a little chart here that shows, okay, international convenience yield versus G10 sovereign bonds. You can see that the spread is compressing. That's bad news for the US Treasury. But it doesn't stop there. This article even goes on to say something else that is very concerning. It says hedge funds now own a record high 8% of US Treasuries. And with combined repo and prime brokerage borrowing exceeding $6 trillion, any forced unwind of these leverage positions could send shockwaves through global fixed income markets. What does that mean? Well, historically, if you had other foreign nations, central banks buying US Treasuries, right, they were doing so for long-term purposes, okay? These were their foreign exchange reserves. If you have hedge funds now, if you have private buyers, right, creating a larger share of the pie here, it's very concerning because they're not interested in it for long-term reasoning. They're just here to make a profit. So if they need to dump those treasuries on a moment's notice, they absolutely could do so, right? If they were forced to unwind, let's say something like private credit blows up, commercial real estate, right? We have a lot of these different Jenga pieces in the Jenga economy. You pull one out, the whole thing comes crumbling down, right? There's a lot of holes right now. We're barely hanging on. So if something happens and it forces a massive unwind of these positions, hedge funds are going to dump their treasuries overnight. Who is going to step in and buy all of that debt? Who is going to step in and buy all of that debt? I think you and I both know the answer to that. Of course, the lender of last resort, the Federal Reserve. What does that mean for you and I? Well, if the Fed steps in and is forced to buy more and more and more US debt, right? This is a serious problem for you and I. This is where we get inflation going up, 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 up. We saw what happened after 2020. That could be a drop in the bucket, especially as this continues to accelerate. We are stuck in a debt doom loop right now, right? We have less and less buyers at a time when we need more, okay? And if we have this massive unwinding, if something collapses that's forcing all of these forced sell-offs of US debt, the Fed is going to be forced to step in and buy like they've never bought before. Now, you cannot create more units of currency without devaluing the existing ones, without creating inflation. And we already are having a breakdown of trust and a collapse of confidence in the US debt, right? If that were to happen, goodbye. That's a situation that's really precarious because you're going to see inflation rip higher. And in my opinion, that could be the trigger for hyperinflation. It all comes back to the debt. Right? And I always ask people, I just did this last week in the webinar, I asked people one simple question. Do you think that the Fed is going to stop printing? Yes or no? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I can guess because everyone in the webinar said the same thing, which is no, a resounding no, N-O, right? They're not going to stop the spend, okay? And if you have something like this happen, that spend is going to accelerate rapidly, which is what could really push us from hyperinflation or from inflation into hyperinflation. That's the truth. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you if this is happening tomorrow. I can't tell you if this is happening in a year. But what we can say with certainty, right, is that the train has left the station. This is a process that has unfolded time and time and time again throughout history. That's why I have this currency wall of shame, right, up here with the dollar right there in the middle, okay? That's because the dollar is loading. It's earning its place right up there in the center, okay? And it's soon going to join all of its friends who have already been reduced to zero. No fiat currency, right? They all return to their intrinsic value zero, the piece of paper that it's printed on. And that's the truth. And the dollar is no exception, which is why I'm always talking about making sure you're positioned for what's coming next. And I just went on a rip today too about not trying to time this. That would be my other advice for everyone out there watching. The client who called and asked this question, again, it's a valid question, but they asked it because they were trying to figure out how to time things, right? If you understand that this is where we're headed, if you understand that this is the same pattern that's been followed again and again and again, then there's no sense in trying to time it. You want to make sure you're positioned and protected now, because When hyperinflation starts, and again, it will start suddenly, it's going to be more prohibitive. It's going to be a lot harder to transfer from fiat currency into a true store of value, such as gold and silver, right? You're going to want to be positioned before this transition happens, not after. And that's why I always talk about gold being my insurance policy, right? I own it. I set it away. I don't even think about it. I know I have it. It gives me that peace of mind, right? That's why I can sleep well at night. And that is my wish for everyone else out there, is that you also are positioned for what is coming next. If you feel concerned that you are going to lose what you have, if you do not feel positioned and protected for what is coming next, then that just tells me that you don't have a strategy in place specifically designed for the monetary reset that we are living through, for the next phase of this currency life cycle. If you do not have a strategy yet, or you want a second opinion, call us at the number below. That is what we're here for. We have helped people for 30 years protect their wealth, just like you, against what's coming next. And in the meantime, too, if you want to learn more about currency life cycles, about resets throughout history, we have a completely free guide. It's free because we want everyone to have this information. It's called the Built to Endure Report. Again, it has over 100 years of data on there, multiple examples of currency resets, how to protect your wealth. You can get your copy by clicking the download link in the description below, or you can scan me. It's difficult to imagine.
Oh, I forget we have no video.
That works.
All right, cool. Mr. Thomas.
Yes, indeed. Hi.
All right. I'm going to just say one thing for sure. Grand Rising to everybody. Grand Rising. Because we got a day ahead of us. We got a life ahead of us. This year, we have been on a conversation about this. Not a rant, not a rave, not screaming to the... I'm not doing it. I've been preparing. How many of you all have been preparing for this? How many of you all been laying the ground for your existence through a shift you don't control? Because honestly speaking, y'all know y'all don't control it.
You have no control over how it's going to go down.
So let's talk about it. It becomes a conversation about consistent preparation. How many of you are prepared for the price of gas going to $10 a gallon?
A lot of people are actually squinting at the pump now because it's at $4.
Yeah. How many of y'all are ready for $7? How many of y'all are looking at $6 coming up? And it's starting to make you ache because it tells you the more you have to pay for gas means the smaller your world becomes. Y'all do realize that. That's how we travel.
You manage your movements.
It becomes the price of your vacation. How far you can go away from home. Yeah, you think that fuel prices for you are up. I want you to imagine airplanes. I want you to imagine trucks that pass the food into and out of your neighborhood. From farms to your tables.
You said travel in the airport division.
You have to speak up.
I'm sorry. I said it's funny that you said travel and vacation because this morning there was a note out that they're looking at approximately, excuse my list, 20% hike in fares coming this summer for people who are planning vacation.
Yeah.
20% hike. And
you think they're going to go down by the end of the year?
They're saying, well, it's because of fuel costs and getting the management.
I'm sorry, get what?
Fuel cost management. Fuel
Okay.
cost and management.
Thank you. You might want to breathe again. I keep telling him to breathe when he speaks, but he don't want to listen to me. First of all, one of the things that gets me is that our minds have been taught to disconnect, to not connect the dots to where we don't even connect our own economics in our home. We don't connect world economics to local economics. Then to your civil economics that are quite in your house.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. I want to teach you how to be prepared for all of that. I want us to come together. And this is the beautiful part, because we already have a community that comes together on a regular basis that we meet, and we don't just talk about what's the problem. We actually work out resolutions for everybody who's dealing with this. I let you know right now, don't come knocking on my door when you hear, oh, Miss Ruby, I remember you were saying, because that's too late. You're in the room and you are hearing it now. What will you do when it comes knocking on your door? Because you are in the boat that's sinking. You're on the sinking boat. You gonna wait till the water touch your feet? That's how we think. That's where we all go wrong. We wait until you got too many people come to me talking about, Miss Ruby, my house, my this, my that, my mortgage. But we talk. You've been talking to me for the last 5 years. You've been watching my show, coming back. That's how you know to talk with me. That's how you know to talk to me.
Reaction is too late.
So if you are hearing this now and you haven't put yourself into action, you haven't opened the door to new information or going, well, what are you talking about? If you don't even question what you're hearing, I'm not a salesperson. This is not a quick, hey, 1, 2, come to my class, because I'm not here about that. I'm letting you know we are in a place where we're creating resolutions for real problems in your life. And we're not doing that for you. We're helping you to get them through having new knowledge and new skills with a resource that the only problem is your lack of knowledge. That's it. That's all there is. The lack of knowledge.
You know, it's an amazing thing to know that you're safe and secure because you planned for everything. But it is a scary reaction when you know that when things change, you're running to the store, or you're running to be the last person on the line somewhere to get what you need, and you have hundreds people in the same mindset.
So
at the same time.
Okay, so let's talk about structure. Structure is usually something that's built beforehand. It's something you have to really think. It's a plan. You create the plan which is the structure to what you want to do, what you want to get to. A lot of people think that what we talk about is conspiracy. It's not conspiracy. I want you to start tracking through government policies that are coming in now that change the way things work, like your monetary changes in your bank, the bank alone, your banks alone. Don't even go online. I want you to go into your email. If you own a bank account that's online, has an online entity, I want you to go take a look at your mail, some of the mail you got in the physical mail. If you have gotten it electronic, go to your email and look up the most recent bank notices. You will probably notice that as of recently, you've gotten a lot of mail from your bank. If your mail, please check your spam. Because some of y'all don't know that your mail from your bank has not been authorized to come to your email. So you haven't been seeing a statement in a long time. And those statements will have come in with new adjustments. They will have new rulings. They will have updates. A lot of them in this last year alone, since January 1. But that's not me telling, I'm not trying to tell you something that is not happening in your life.
It's currently going on, and the banks are sending notifications around the clock.
Because they're required to. They're required to tell you, we told you we took power over your finances. Or we were going to. They have to give you fair notice. But because most of us are chasing after a job, we're too tired to read, which right there is a practice of poverty. Consistent, long-term, generational poverty. You cannot be too tired to care about your finances, because then you are too tired to care about your wealth.
Very much so.
You get it? I sure hope so. Because those who will sleep on their wealth will definitely be awake to poverty.
Because then
guarantee you that. Yeah, no, that becomes your existence. And I want you guys to realize poverty isn't a dollar amount. Wealth is not a dollar amount. It is a habit. It starts with a mindset, goes to a plan, and becomes a habit. How many of you people are actually, tell me, how many of you people like me had a hard time saving?
I know I can raise my hand for that one.
How many people say, oh my God, here we go again. I got to count. I got to use math. I don't like that. How many of you actually said, Miss Ruby, are you really trying to make me go back to school? No, I'm not taking you back to college. I'm taking you to a new place.
Call your budget.
It's your budget, your house budget. It's your money, your income. Oh, I don't have an income. I'm not working. Where you live? You live out in the street? You using where you get the internet from being on here? I always ask people. It is not the money you have. It is the money is what you do with it. Your knowledge of what to do with it. A millionaire is only a millionaire as long as he knows how to maintain it. Otherwise, he's just a guy with some money, and he'll soon be without. Most of y'all are waiting for something to happen. It is not coming. Most of you think that, oh, I got to have a certain amount. I teach my students, you got one thin dime will change your life. A penny can change your life. Why? Because you don't understand value. You don't understand the value of you, let alone what you have. So I'm going to tell you, Pay It Forward Friday is about paying yourself. You have to pay yourself. If you want to do something, you want to take an action, I want you to go and find a penny. Find one penny. And I had a brother on one of these platforms reach out to me and tell me that he's in a country where they're dealing with war and everything is so, he's watching people. He's ready to sell a kidney. He's expecting me to send him money. I want to tell people, if you keep, everybody watching this, if you on my platform and you see that, you'll know the one thing I will not do is I send nobody money. You know why I don't give money away? Because I'll be damned if I make you a beggar. I'll be damned if I make you a beggar. I will rather teach you how to get your hustle on. I will feed you fish and teach you how to fish while we are eating. Before I send you money and make you a beggar. These governments got y'all thinking that you're entitled to beg people in other nations while they continue to tell you, oh, we got this.
We're fine.
They fight wars over your children's heads and watch you beg other countries electronically. Well, one, I'm not getting scammed. That's kind of stupid. Got it? So if you really need something, sending people a request because you're looking for the weeping heart that's going to believe the nonsense and send you a blind financial, reward. Those days are over. One, I teach people, don't send nobody money. You don't know them, you don't send it to them. I don't care what the hardship is. I don't care if they talk to you on the phone till you blue in the face. I don't care if they tell you the most beautiful thing in the world. Don't you send them no money. Let you know right now, people are resilient. I give people options to continue to exist. If you don't want that, then you don't deserve to exist. You deserve what you desire. You deserve whatever you desire, whatever you go after, and I can't control that.
I think about it when, we say we send people money because you don't want to make them a beggar. For some people, that's their whole profession. And it's not that they're begging, they're actually scamming you. There are a lot of things that go on in the internet, on the phone, and they look for people who have a sympathy button.
Yeah.
And then once they have that sympathy button on you, they go to the next step.
One of the things about giving stuff away, you disempower people. I want you, and I learned that about my program, which is why we had to start charging tuition. We put our time and our effort into folks that would come on a regular basis to listen and get all this information for free for 4 years. I've been doing this for 7 years.
Yep.
You pay tuition because you have to learn to pay your way to be able to have more to pay. I learned to love my bills. I learned to feel great about paying bills. Who made my bills? Me. I made that bill. have bills means that I have a roof over my head, I have food in my stomach, I have clothes on my back, and I feel safe behind the locked door. Y'all get that? These are the things you have communication. These are the things you have afforded yourself, but you feel they are a burden instead of changing them to a blessing.
You want to give them away? By all means, give them away. Give away.
The minute you stop having those things, you stop having a life. Y'all realize that? How many people would rather be here clapping for having a bill than having absolutely nothing in your life? Living under someone else's thumb because you can't make a decision. Because you truly have nothing. That's why I said our activity today is to go find me a penny. Not for me, but go find a penny. I want you to bring it up. I want you to bring it up because if you find that penny, we can do this activity. Okay? You need a penny and a calculator. Okay? You need a penny and a calculator. I need somebody to give me a signal when you got a penny. I don't care if it's a bubble. I don't care if it's a word. Text something, say amen, say good morning, whatever it is you say. Grand Rising. I want somebody, as soon as you get a penny, just text me and say, Miss Ruby, I got it.
Reach in your pocket, look on your desk.
Because I'm going to show you how we turn pennies into gold.
Stick your hand in your couch. You want to get some coins.
Look, I do this on a regular, baby.
You know, what you really got to understand is if you don't value yourself at 10 cents, what do you value yourself at?
Find me a 1 penny.
Sure.
Okay.
Find a bottle. Find an empty bottle.
No. Oh, true. That's 5 cents, right?
That's 5 cents. Go find a bottle.
No, I don't need the bottle, Al. We need the money. I want to show y'all what we're talking about.
Go get in there.
Because if I can show you what P2G stands for, which is pennies to gold, y'all will understand why we keep telling you come in the room. There's way more. There's way more. See, one of the things that I want to share with you is just a concept. But this is real. This is actually happening in the blockchain all the time. And y'all can say what you want to say about the blockchain. But it's real. There's more people can vouch for it than can vouch against it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? They can deny it. And that you have to admit for yourself. So we're going to share some information, but we're going to share. I like putting my money where my mouth is, and I darn sure enjoy making sure you understand the work. This is what we do. I'm just sharing with you all. This is what we do.
You're giving away the nuggets today, huh?
All right. So take that penny. All right. Thank you, baby. Hey, Chris, how you doing? That's my brother. All right, cool. We got some folks who got a penny. Y'all ready? Let's do this math. Get your calculator out. That means if you on a phone right now, you got a calculator. Get on it. Or if you got a visual, take a look at the visual in this example. All right, we'll put this. I'll make sure everybody can see it. So I love it because I work in a space where we use coins and we use change like banks do. In this space, you know how we talk about the banks be making millions of dollars. You give them 100, they turn it to 10,000. Blah blah blah. Y'all all know the banks make money with your money.
Yes, they do. Good.
I'm glad. So I want you to just start with a penny. And if you start with a penny, we're gonna show you how many units you can turn a penny into utilizing the blockchain.
Show me.
Now, one of the things I love is that I like it when people talk about small coins. And how many of y'all, and you know, we're gonna use one that everybody knows about. We're gonna use Doge, but we're not using Doge numbers today. We're gonna go way, way, way back to the beginning of Doge. Let's do it. Early day Doge, and I'm right now on a platform called Coin Market Cap. 2014, Doge began its price at 0.1235. Let's even say 6 because there's a 5 there. So I'm going to put in the amount for each Doge coin, but I'm going to divide it by 1 penny by the amount that Doge was. Okay? Do that work.
Right.
So Doge was And if I divide that,
Divided by
0.0006.
one more zero.
Mm-mm.
Wasn't that 4? Okay, I missed it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's 16. And that won't do, will it? Nah, that won't do. So I have to actually see what it is that we have. So 16. So let's see. Can you get this many? 16 will add up to 1 penny.
Okay. Let me get my
Uh-huh. What are we doing? This is called fractional math.
fractional math.
Fractional math means that you get units. You're going to take it. Let me just clean this up a little. I'm going to clean that up some. I'm taking 1 penny and I'm dividing it by the actual price of how many Doge coins I can get for 1 penny back when Doge began, which was kind of interesting that was the case.
16 coins for a penny?
I could get 16 coins for a penny. Interesting, right? That's just 3 zeros. Think about it. Shiba Inu has what, 5 zeros right now?
5 zeros.
So that's about 160. That's 1,600 for a penny.
166 probably.
That is very interesting. But right now we're working with Doge. Now, if you are seeing this, 16.66 coins, that's actually units that we're talking about. Let's bring us back in. I want to show you. This is considered units. These are units. I literally just got, each one of those units is an asset. One asset. So let's see. Doge today is how much?
10 cents.
Doge today is 10 cents. So let's see. I got 16 times 10. Okay, so I have 16, 1, 6, times the price of the coin today. Oh, my bad. That's times, my bad. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. 0.10. So I got to ask a question. How many of y'all can turn a penny into $1.60? How many of y'all ever done anything like that?
1 penny.
That's 160%. How many of you all are getting 160%?
In your bank account.
And by the way, we're not talking about go get some Doge. We're telling you this is the math of the blockchain. This is how blockchain works. These are the yields that they're getting on a regular, daily, not yearly. APYs, and I'm just using words that are part of the financial world. I'm not letting you know this is not guaranteed anything. They're just more frequent.
Yes, indeed.
Just sharing with you, there's a higher frequency of this math than you get in at any bank. There's no frequency for the banks that does this. There is no bank that is offering you 160% in any 24-hour to, God knows, any year. What you're getting, if you're lucky, is 4% in a year, over a year.
Over a year.
But I mean, how many of y'all done the math for 4% over a year? This is where your money is. Let's talk about it. I like going back to the calculator because the calculator will give me exactly what it is I need to show you. So the next thing is let's go to that part where you see exactly what y'all are getting for your money. Let's do that. Let's do that. And we're gonna use $100 because this is good savings now, right? Still $100. Just what it is, baby. I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm trying to teach you something. And this, you're literally getting my one masterclass for free. You're getting my masterclass for free. There we go. So currently, your banks are offering you upwards, what, 4% right now?
And
that's a top.
That's a high yield.
That's considered high yield.
And you should
have $100.
Minimum.
You got $100. And it's what is it? What's the percentage? Okay.
4%.
You got 4% over how long?
A year.
A year. So I have to do $100 divided by what is it? How do we do that, Mr. Thomas? So
Just do $100 by 4%.
No. What is it?
4%.
4%. Well, wait a minute, Mr. Thomas. Open my
Why
bag.
you divide it?
I don't know why. Time 0.4, right?
Yeah, you do point.
Not 4. Go back. Forgive me, I'm still tired. You trying to use my computer. I told y'all, tech is acting crazy. But see, that's $40. Oh, I get $40 in a year? I don't think it's $40.
Give 40%.
I think I said 40%.
Yeah.
So let's clarify the numbers. So it's
more like
100
$4.
point. No. It's like $4. But wait. If I want to know how much per day.
Divide that.
Exactly. So here we go. I'm going to wait. First, I'm going to get my 4%. That's 0.04. My bad. Correcting my math. 4% is 0.04. Then that equals the $4 that I would have made on my. Y'all got it? Mm-hmm. So in a year, I can make $4 on my $100. But how much is that per day? I divide that by 365. Because you got 365 days in a year. That's how much I earned a day. How many of y'all good with taking $100, sticking it somewhere to earn a penny a day? Not a penny compounded a day.
No.
Not a penny compounded a day. Let's remember that. That's what how fast do you think your money can and grow in that case? How much you're going to get to live on?
You know, one of the things you got to include, you're really nice. Because you didn't include bank fees either.
Oh, the bank gets its cut?
The bank got to get its cut. They're giving you 4%, but most banks have a monthly charge. Your monthly charge is probably way over what you get in the whole year.
Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this down. The reason I'm going to take this down is because I hope that makes more sense for you. When you can create fractions, you get more over time. When you can fractionalize it and create assets that are smaller, you can actually create more over time. But when you have that one thing that has its own one set of growth process, and you're just leaving it there. Guys, it's now facing two things. You just got a penny worth of possible taxable dollars. Ain't that crazy?
Tax on $4.
Yeah. Which is usually about 10%. I live in New York, so that's kind of a thing, you know. And with that, you just took away. I just actually am in the negative 6%. So if you are going to get ahead of inflation and taxation, you got to dig out of a hole. Inflation is what, 4%? What do they say? Give or take 4%. And yeah, we know that is way more. So we're being modest. So inflation at 4%, taxation at 10%. Some of y'all got 6%. So even with that, you got to get ahead of 10 to 6 to 14% to earn ahead of 10 to 14% just to be able to be earning. Everything else is floating in the other direction. And you're still working and saving. Would you like to see alternatives?
They are available.
Would you like to be able to locate some alternatives for yourself? Because they're there. They're all over the place. You know, I've had some really great wins with crypto. When I first got started, I thought they were lucky. Until I learned they were just the beginning.
They're math.
They were just the beginning. Creating the kind of finances and the amount of time and the ways that I've accessed them were actually what all of this is about. And you know who knows about these? The folks who are financially literate, digitally financially literate in that space. Mm-hmm. And with that, we didn't get stuck with one thing. We learned to move asset to asset. That means that we move from paper to digital to physical. Y'all get it yet? Because if you stay in paper promises, You're stuck with whoever gives you the value, who holds the value on the other side of your promise. It's not you. And your paper promises are custody letters that says that you give someone else full custody and rights.
They're called IOUs.
Over your finances.
IOU.
Okay, let's get you in the picture here, Mr. Thomas. We got a bubble. We're on multiple platforms. Oh, wow. Here we go.
Hello, it's been a long time.
It's calling.
Wow. How you been?
Hi, sweetie. It's so good to see you. Uh-oh, someone's calling on something. That's a ring.
Someone's trying to get our attention.
Someone's trying to get our attention. Oh, wow.
We're in the middle of a show.
We are in the middle of a show. Okay. Right now, phone calls cannot be had.
So Grand Rising, yes, once again.
Okay. So the point of the conversation, and I hope that you got the math. I really do. One of the things I can tell you is I did not start out as someone who loved math. I love science. That was my thing. And then I learned that I had to also do math.
Which, hand in hand.
Which wasn't, I was great for a while until I got to algebra. And that was a challenge that I found out I wasn't alone in. But because I had some really good, in areas I did luck up. I got really great professors who were innovators in the area of math. And they created a curriculum that helped me to bridge the missing between the math I was missing and how the world worked financially. They got me to see that I was missing the math of my money. And now I teach money math. But I also teach digital access. And we learn from each other. Because I've had programs that I actually have training programs that I went to from others who are pretty much they're creators in this tech, crypto, blockchain, DeFi space. They're innovators. They're part of the community. And that's what we need. You need people who know more than you do, but you need to also put your time. Y'all need to dedicate time to taking care of this business. Because they trust and believe that there's people putting in overtime and they staying up late to make sure you keep paying for the rest of your life.
Big.
While they rest. After they set it, they let you do the rest of the work. The rest of your life. If you're ready to start flipping those tables, start turning the tables on that conversation, you're going to have to come to some new information.
You have to come up from where you think you are.
We want to let folks know, thank you for coming on. Wednesday nights are free. Come into the conversation. You know, I have one more person.
I got a little sad news.
Oh no, Mark.
I'm not making enough right now.
Okay.
In my account. And they only have me one day. And second, it's come to a point I'm going to have to find another job in the future.
Sounds like in the present.
15 years. This November will be 16 years.
Wow.
I've been there for so long. I'm going to have to go, I've been a low chance. These are change right now, and it's not how it's playing.
Mark, I want you to reach out to me. I think, that we have folks that we do talk with that are, my thing is if I tell you to reach out to me and I don't hear from you, that's on you, because we're here to bring resources. Y'all get that? If someone tells you they reach their hand out to you and say, okay, I'll help you, they should not have to chase you. Y'all get that? I really hope that's the case. We make ourselves available. I can't do 1,000 one-on-ones, but I can sure come to a group meeting. Y'all get that? We have our group meetings. We have free offerings where we are present and available live. I don't do recorded. A lot of my friends are doing this now. They're setting up a pre-recording of one of their onboardings, and that's wonderful. But I have a people-driven business. And I know that I'm not going to be able to be there. So you may get me, or you may get one of the people who have the same resources resources that are built out of our business. But right now, while you got me, you better utilize my time, because my one-on-ones are really to make money happen.
I'm ready for my
so you have to stop that. How you need a one-on-one with me when you got your own? Anyway, my one-on-ones are to make financial decisions happen, not to sit and talk. I'm not here to lecture you. My classes, there's no lecturing. We coach. Y'all get that? We coach. We instill information just like a coach. We sit down, show you the plays. We have y'all practice. And as you move, we guide the movement to show you how to get to your best.
Yes, indeed.
But ain't nothing happening until you move. You can come to class, sit and listen to me, but I told you, don't watch me get wealthy, because the sister ain't sitting here. I'm not coaching you and not making moves. That's ridiculous. I ain't a teacher. I'm a coach for a reason. Teachers sit in and they lecture. I don't lecture. We instruct and we move together. I'm informing you. I don't tell you what moves to make. By the time we're finished, you can see what makes sense. That's the goal of the whole program. It's so that it makes sense to you. You ain't got to call me on the phone. When you call me on the phone, and I kind of like this because it evolves, and I've seen evolution every time we have a iteration. Our class 11 is coming up in 2 weeks. We had to push it back because I can't start with partial class. I need literally 20 seats filled. Now, we're getting there. If you would like to be one of the 20 seats, let me know. The P2G network has a couple of prices that we have. We have general and we have the DFL price. If you would like to just do the 12 weeks, that's fine. But you must you have to really do the work to get to the consistency of growing. Because I've seen people be like, damn, Miss Ruby, I didn't realize I had this. Yeah. Some of y'all got wallets. Some of y'all got crypto out there. Don't know what to do with it. Don't even know it's not safe. I got it on the most popular platform. Yeah, you gave them custody. And you getting a 1099.
Every time.
Yeah. You know how to handle that? Okay, good. Because if you don't worry, it'll handle you just like everything else. There's rules to this game if you want to win. If you in it to win it. We don't teach just crypto. You got to get to gold. You got to get to land, deeds. You got to get to small business development so you can get them loans.
You got to get to be owning and get yourself together.
It's time to start having look, we got people who do stuff in all areas. What do you need? Someone asked me about taxes. I'm not calling you on the phone. I said, reach out to me. I'm not ringing people back. I don't do taxes. I let folks know. If I tell you to reach out to me because I have a resource for you and you disappear, then that's on you. Got it?
Without a doubt.
I'm reminding folks. I see probably 50 people a week. And when I say a week, that's conversations. That's a lot of time on the phone. That's a lot of time in Zoom. That's a lot of time in general. And what I will not do is chase anyone. If you have a need, I've given you access to contact me in many different ways. I check my mail, my texts, all of my back chats. And I even saw Mr. Thomas to please check his and let me know if anybody left me information. If I can't reach you back, then I can't help you. I need y'all to realize it's time for us to learn the key to communication in a community. The key to communication in a community is you have to reach out and let somebody know something and let them respond. Let them respond and listen clearly to their response. Because in every response or every interaction I have, Mr. Thomas knows, and I think that makes him mad to no end. I'm always going to be teaching you something. I'm always going to be leaving and dropping something with you that you can move forward with. But you got to show up to get that. We got bubbles, y'all. Mark, you want to call me?
I just read my phone number on one of the, I can't say it like 2,000. I want them to other others to get it.
I'm going to stop that right now. Mark, do not put your phone number on these messages. Just hit me up in the back chat Hit Mr. Thomas up in the back chat with
Yeah.
your new phone number.
Yeah, please, just definitely
Oh boy.
go in.
And please do not post your phone number or your email address in public on this. Yeah, I'm just saying that for those who might need that info. We love you, brother. Reach out to us. My number is still the same. Text me. I want you guys to realize something. This is done out of a
Labor of love.
It's not just a labor of love. I don't really like to say that. This is done out of a concern for community, for your life, your wellness, concerning mine. I'm not selfless. I'm selfish. I don't do this just for you. I do this for me and my kids and the safety and sanctity of my family. That's why I just said, we're so stuck in our box, we don't realize we have to think globally to affect locally.
Yes, indeed.
Because what happens when the global stops shipping stuff into your community? What the hell are you going to do then? Are you going to wait till that stops happening?
We got imports running in this country.
Come on, somebody. For my people who run stores, you need to make a friend out of a farmer. You need to go find producers in your community that are producing. Because your store might end up being a community store. And you ain't got no agreements already. With the changes that are taking place on these large scales, every one of us are feeling it all the way in.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Only how many of y'all ready to survive it? How many of y'all got the game plan that's going to make sure you got value that gets you what you need when this dollar tanks? Because the dollar has to tank. I don't know if y'all realize it's not a conspiracy. That's a plan.
It's called a life cycle.
It's a currency life cycle. And we are coming to the end of this one. There's already, and we already shared that with y'all, there's already a digital replacement in place. And it's not a test. It's already been tested and being used.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Baby, let me tell you something. We got to stop thinking we got. For those who got, y'all have bank accounts in the hundreds of thousands, that ain't your money. That ain't your money. That bank is not your friend. The bank is a tool, and until you realize that's a tool that someone else holds control over, you still under the influence of this thing right here. They ain't got no love for you. They got a business plan in place, and they're making money. When are you? Some of y'all got to shift some things. Y'all figured that out. You're welcome to book a time with me. It's on the website. And people go, oh my gosh, she's charging so much. I will recommend 3 other people for you to book with. Go ahead. Yep. I am not charging a lot. I teach you and train you how to move things, how to make movements to whatever the assets that you're trying to get into. I told people, At Course Metals is not my business. It's a tool. I use that because they have a great way for me to get what I want with what I have. But I have 3 sources for that. P2G is about being a resource and us connecting with networks of people who are resources. Breakfast with the Thomases is where we come to the table and have that discussion. So the only way to get to what you need in life is if you start talking.
And we can't talk for you.
We always open the door. I hope that you got the most out of it. We invite you to come to our Wednesday, which is right up here. Our community action meeting is every Wednesday. It's an advanced digital economic equity meeting. We have we can handle Q&As, but at this point, I'm starting to prep certain subjects. So you'll start to see some things like crypto, blockchain banking, trust information, metaverse information, metaverse business information, AI utilization, Web3 basics, subjects that we actually teach in our 12 weeks will come up each week, a different topic. And if you bring questions to the platform outside of the topic, we'll cover it. We don't just talk about it, we research it. Y'all see I'm good. I'm good for opening up a Zoom and going in and working it out. Why? Because that's what we missing. But you know what? You're only missing it if you do not go for yourself. So hit us up at P2G. Y'all see the information. Some of y'all are over there seeing the P2G. You should see. Mr. Thomas, did you put the website on there? Okay. You can see the website is up. That's the old site. That's our information site. Our application site is going to be open by the end of May. We had to postpone because we had some technical difficulties. Everybody does these days. Hop on. That's the Zoom. Y'all got a free Zoom ID and everything.
You can click the link.
Go and take a picture or click the link or hit the. I gotta take this down. I didn't realize we on top of the QR code. Or you can hit the QR code if you can see it. I let folks know we have a lot going on, but we keep a lot going on. We have a large community. We service one another. And until you start serving somebody, you're going to find yourself very lonely, confused, and probably extremely depressed in what's going on. We don't want to see you that way. You don't have to. And so I thank you for your time. We thank you for your love. We hope that you remember that you're part of the family. You got folks that's here, that's real. We know what family looks like.
Real people.
We got your back. As long as you're willing to get your back. Y'all get how that works? I love you, and I'll see you soon. If you'd like to join us for the next 12-week program, you got to sign up for the orientations, and you also have to pay for your course.
Yes,
if you need a payment plan, don't worry. We have those available as well. But it's time to get started moving your money, and all of our classes are actionable. We take action, and we start moving assets day one. I ain't playing.
I love it. I love the course when I took it. So I'm actually I teach some things in it, but if you can be a teacher and still get something from the education that's going across, that's a program for you.
Well, P2G is a place to be, and y'all come join us in this world. Oh, it's changing.
You singing the original theme song?
Ooh, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, see it. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomas's, the ultimate prize. Mental wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday. Okay, pay it forward Friday. We're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning a love, serving food for what those two rising as the beat and it Eastern on P2G TV.